dear students, welcome back to our online class. So dear students, in last class we are learning about the techniques to separate the mixtures. So dear students, let's extend the same topic, how to separate the mixtures. So dear students, are you ready? Okay, shall we begin? Okay dear students, so we are going to learn the next techniques, how to separate the mixtures. So dear students, this is the crystallization technique, where crystallization is the process, okay, this is one of the process of obtaining a pure solid, okay dear students. So if you want to obtain a pure solid in the form of crystals, then you can use this crystallization process, okay. So crystallization is the process of obtaining a pure solid in the form of crystals from its solutions, okay dear students. So crystallization or crystals you may find a shining in nature. So if you want pure form of the solid, then you can do this technique. Let us understand the crystallization process. So dear students, here this is the soluble solid in the solution, okay, any one of the solid, just you take it and just dissolve into few amount of the water, then just evaporate it by the help of the burner, okay. Then after the evaporation process, go for the filtration. So with the help of conical flask, okay, conical flask or the funnel, just filter it. Then what happened, you may find filtrate form, okay. So this is nothing but the solution itself, but it is pure form of the solution. Then keep it for some times, you will get the crystals of soluble solid, okay. So here what we have need to complete this procedure, we need soluble solid in the solution in the beaker, and next is the burner for the evaporation process. After the evaporation, you have to be filter it with the help of filter paper, okay. Then whatever hot saturated solution you will get, just to keep it for the crystallization process. So you will get the crystals of the soluble solid. So these are the 4 steps, okay. So let's take one example to understand this thing. So dear students, this is one of the example where we are going to find out the pure copper sulphate crystals. Copper sulphate is nothing but one of the compound, that is a chemical compound which is blue in color. Which color it is? It is a blue in color. So by crystallization we can obtain the pure copper sulphate from its solution. So just dissolve it about 5 gram of copper, just take it 5 gram of copper sulphate in minimum amount of water, okay. So dissolve it minimum amount of water, then just filter the solution, okay dear students. So just filter the solution to remove the impurities, okay. So why we have to be filter it? Because we have to be remove the impurities, and later on evaporate the solution in a china dish to get a saturated solution, and cover the solution with a filter paper and allow it to cool. Then you will get the pure copper sulphate crystals of copper sulphate from the copper sulphate solution. So here this is the procedure where we are going to get a pure copper sulphate solution, copper sulphate crystals from the impure copper sulphate solution, okay dear students. So here this is the crystallization process where we can obtain the solid crystals from their solution, okay dear students. Let's go for the next techniques. So here we are going to separation of components of air. As you know that air is a mixture of gases, okay, air is a mixture of gases, and the components of air can be separated by fractional distillation. So how it is possible to get the separation of airs? By the help of fractional distillation, where air is compressed by increasing the pressure, okay. So how it is possible? When you are going to compress the air by increasing the pressure and cooled by decreasing the temperature, okay dear students. So just keep in your mind, when you are going to separate the components of air first one is you have to be compressed by increasing the pressure and cooled by decreasing the temperature to get a liquid air, and the liquid air is then allowed to warm up slowly in a fractional distillation column, and then the different components crystal at different heights depending on their different boiling points. So, dear students, how it is possible to separate the components of air? That air is compressed and cooled by increasing pressure and decreasing temperature, then air will get converted into liquid air. This is the first step, this is the second step. Then what happened? This liquid air you have to allow to warm up slowly in the fractional distillation in the column. Okay. So, allow it to warm up slowly in the fractional distillation column, and gases get separated at a different heights. Okay. So, by using the fractional distillation it is possible to separate the components of air, so on depending upon their boiling point. So, different elements having the different boiling points, suppose oxygen is -183, argon is -186 and nitrogen is -196. So, these are the boiling point, and what are the percentage air by volume? That is the 20.9, argon is 0.9 and nitrogen is 78.1. Okay, as you know that nitrogen is one of the major components in the air, because nitrogen is present is around 78.1% in the air. So, by the using of this method we can separate the components of air. Okay, first we have to be convert this air into liquid air, then allow it to warm up slowly in the fractional distillation column, and these gases get separated at different height depending upon their boiling point. Okay, so this is one of the method to separate the components of air. Okay, dear students, if the question can be asked for 2 marks, if you are writing this flow charts itself, you will get totally 2 marks, no problem. So, these are the easy step to remember the separation of components of air. Okay, dear students, now let us go for the next concept. Here we are going to discuss about the physical change. So, dear student, this is the next concept. So, now it is time to learn this concept, because it is also one of the important concepts in is matter around us pure in our chapter. Okay. So, what is a physical change? Physical means the change in which only transformation of state is happen. Okay. So, transformation of state means what are the states of a matter? That is solid to liquid, liquid to gas. So, in the physical change what will be going to be obtained here? That is the change in which only transformation of state is happen and no substances is made are called as the physical change, and these changes are reversible. Reversible means it is easy to convert one form to the another form. Okay, so you can take a simple example about the melting of ice. Ice means is one of the ice is form of water. Water. So, here usually water is existing in which state? That is a liquid state. So, it can be converted into liquid, liquid to gas. So, here ice cube is a form of solid of water. So, if the ice will going to melt here, then it is one of the physical change. So, this is one simple introduction about the physical change, where no substance will going to form here, and the changes in which only transformation of state is happen, and these are the reversible process. Okay, dear students. So, these are the some basic information about the physical change. Okay, let us take our next concept, that is the chemical change. Okay, dear students, when we are talking about the chemical change, it is a change in which a new substance is made. Okay, so new substance you are going to form here, and in this change the chemical properties of the substance is changed, and these changes are irreversible. Means when your mother is preparing food for you, so you may find some extra taste in that. Okay, how it is possible? Because there we are going to add some ingredients. So, this is one of the chemical change, means we cannot you can get a next compound, or you may get next substance or a new substance. So, by the help of chemical change it is possible because it is a irreversible process. So, best example to understand the chemical change, that is the cooking of food, where we can change the states also. Okay, dear students. So, this is the chemical change where new substance are formed. Okay. Now, let us discuss the difference between the physical change and the chemical change. So, dear students, the physical change is nothing but the chemical composition of substance does not change. So, dear students, what is the main chemical composition? Like a simple example about the water itself, what is the chemical composition? That is the 2 molecules of hydrogen and 1 molecules of oxygen. Okay. So, it is possible to break it? No. So, the substance does not change, the chemical composition of substance does not change. So, it is a physical change. What about the chemical change? So, the chemical composition of substances will change. So, you can take a simple example about the chemical change, that is the milk to curd. Okay. Milk to curd, where the composition of milk will be going to be changed into the curd form. So, milk is containing lactose form, where after converting to curd, milk to curd, the lactose will going to be changes into lactic acid. So, this is the example of chemical change itself. Okay. So, here most of the changes are reversible. So, in the physical change most changes are reversible, but when we are talking about the chemical changes, most changes are irreversible. Okay. So, here most changes are irreversible. In the physical change no new substance formed. Okay. So, here we are not going to form a new substance in the physical change, but when we are talking about the chemical change, new substance are formed. Okay, dear students. So, these are the some examples of physical change and the chemical change. Some more examples you may find in our day-to-day life. Okay. So, these are the some basic concept we have covered today about the physical change and chemical change, as well as we have completed the separation techniques, and today we have completed your second chapter, dear students. So, soon we will going to discuss some few more questions related to this concept, and later on we will go for the study biology concept. So, dear students, just go through the concept. After completing this class, I will send all the slides in the PDF form, so just you can utilize it. So, dear students, let us meet in the next class. Have a good day. Bye bye.